is you have to work. Everybody has to contribute to society, or society wouldn't run, you know? Now, there's plenty of greedy individuals who decide to separate from that working side of society and replace themselves with many other tokens and many other people in order for them to make more money, while also feeding you a small amount of money just to keep you coming back. You must work. And that's the beautiful thing about life. Welcome back to another video on the channel. My name is Delonte Freeman, and this is Spirit, Mind, and Body Fitness, S.M.B Fitness. And in today's video, I got a beautiful topic that I want to discuss about the workforce. You know, as a young individual on my grind and journey to escaping the rat race. And what do I mean by the rat race? It's just a 9-to-5 job. The reason I'm calling it the rat race is because that's the popular term and the name for it. Plenty of names, and there's really no describing the modern day to slavery. There's really no name for it, but to call it what it is, and it's just slavery, you know. I've been realizing that, you know, work seemed to find itself to me. And I'm realizing something about the world, and what I'm realizing is you have to work. Everybody has to contribute to society, or society wouldn't run, you know. Now, there's plenty of greedy individuals who decide to separate from that working side of society and replace themselves with many other tokens and many other people in order for them to make more money, while also feeding you a small amount of money just to keep you coming back. You must work. And that's the beautiful thing about life, serving others. And in this video, I want to talk about the mentality you need while on the working force and while you just contributing to society. You have to have a servant's mentality, man. And that's according to the scriptures. That's according to morality. That's according to just anything in life. You have to have a servant's mentality in order to actually have a job well done. Do you understand what I'm saying? I have to be in a servant's mentality. I have to think like, hey, let me serve this individual in order for the job to actually get done. And I'll give you an example. You notice how you go to work and you working hard and you look around and there's other people looking for a way out and an escape in work. So they're taking the shortcuts. And when they take these shortcuts, a lot of mistakes happen. A lot of unnecessary issues and problems occur when you try to take the shortcut, as opposed to thinking of how I can serve this person. You're thinking of how I can take a rest. You're thinking of how I can have an easier life. And those are two different mentalities while you're working. So while you're working, having a servant's mentality will ultimately make your life a lot easier. While, yes, you know, you'll be doing a lot more work up front than other people, or you'll be taking on the loads of other people because you have those scheming and conniving type of individuals who are allowed to work in the workforce, and they make your life a lot harder because they see that you actually are a worker and you actually have a servant's heart. And a lot of people who see that servant's heart will come and take advantage of that, right? And that's just the world that we live in. There's always people trying to come up off of other people, and that's America, period. America was built on capitalism, right? Let's be honest, it is. You know, speaking to any business owner out there or anybody who has any type of knowledge of America, they'll let you know America was built on capitalism. And what is capitalism? Coming up off a situation. How can I capitalize? How can I come up? You know, for my scientific people and people who have no background of faith, right? Who just have earthly knowledge and worldly knowledge. You may not understand what I'm talking about because there's a certain level of faith that you have to have with knowledge in order for the knowledge to make sense. And a lot of people won't understand this talk, and that's fine. But God is a man that measures the heart of the people, and having a servant's heart is the best heart. The right heart posture is what God looks at, you know? I can't say, oh, I sold drugs and I gave back, you know, I put bad into my community because of the situation that I was in. You get what I'm saying? It's still selfishness. But a lot of people will justify the selfishness because of the bad situation. And that's what America is, the capitalism. Oh, I was working like everybody else. Oh, I had a hard life coming up. Oh, I had this, that, and the third. It was a bad life for me. Blah, blah, blah. I became this person in the process of, trying to look out for me and my family. Can you blame me? And a lot of people, they act like that's okay, Well, God, on the other hand, he's not overlooking, and he's not, saying, okay, that person has a servant heart. Let that person just serve, and it look like they're taking a beating and all of the above. Certain blessings and certain things flow to you and flock to you because you are a person who has a servant heart and a servant mentality, and you're not being selfish, and you always thinking of other individuals and people. That's why you get a lot of the blessings that you get. When you put others first, the society becomes a better place. The world becomes a better place, essentially. This world was made for us to serve one another. The servant mentality in the workplace is the best mentality to have in the workplace. Now, the conniving and evil people trying to take advantage, that can turn your heart cold. Me as an individual who's full of knowledge and full of emotion and feeling, that can be perverted and used the wrong way, and it can cause an individual to go off and veer off and do certain things out of spite because of the servant's heart that you had. And you feel like you have to get back at certain individuals when the scriptures tell us that vengeance is the Lord's, right? You shouldn't worry about trying to get back or trying to defend yourself when really the Lord will defend you. You get what I'm saying? And a lot of people don't think like that, including myself, Like, wrong is wrong and right is right. And I'm going to be honest, like, certain things that I do aren't right. I have a toxic mentality. I'm toxic at times, like, certain things that I do are just not justifiable. Just like how some people hate liars and it's unjustifiable. Just like how some people hate thieves and it's unjustifiable. My father hates a thief. I used to rob and used to be a jack boy. I used to take things, not steal. It's a difference to me. But my father put the whole thing in a category because he's saying, and what he believes in is working for your dollar and working for the things that you have. So just like you have that same hate towards that, or, smoking or liars, or, it's all the same to God. It really is, because sin is sin. Wrong is wrong, period, point blank. So I'm not justifying my actions in the way that I think. You get what I'm saying? I'm just here to speak the truth. When you in the workplace and you allowing this workplace to change you and change who you are, it's better to find another environment. You have to. Because me seeing that I'm around a bunch of wolves is only going to make me, as a sheep, eventually adapt to the environment in order to survive. You get what I'm saying? So instead of trying to adapt to a certain environment in order to survive in that environment and thrive in that environment, it's better to move on and find another job. Because I cannot allow certain things to corrupt my character, because that's the only battle in this life. Like, yes, I can fight you physically, right? But the real battle is against morals and principles. According to the scriptures, we fight against morals and principles. That's the real battle. So I would not allow anybody to corrupt my behavior and change my heart, because changing my heart is ultimately turning me away from God. It's turning me away from the very own thing that makes me me. You get what I'm saying? God is a man of love. God is a spiritual being. God cannot be seen in the world to the naked eye and to an unconscious person, but to the believers, he can be seen in everything, right? But I'm saying all that to say that if God cannot be seen, then he has to be seen through emotions and feelings and spiritually. You get what I'm saying? That's why in the scriptures, in the word, it tells us that many will call on me in the day of the return or the reckoning, the day of reckoning or whatever, when Jesus come back, like, Lord, Lord, haven't I done many things in your name? And the Lord will say, I've never knew you. It's not about the works that you do. It's about the posture and the heart and the intentions that you do the things. You have to have the right intentions, right? Because I can follow the rule book. You can follow the rule book. We can follow the rule book But if our intentions and our heart isn't the right thing, then we're not connected to God at all, because God is a spiritual being. God is love. He created love. God is every great thing. Every great thing comes from the Father of lights, according to the scripture and according to life. Like, look at life, man. Every good thing in this life comes from the Lord. All things can be corrupted and perverted by a human being with free will, or a disobedient angelic being like the Satan character, or a disobedient human being, or a disobedient whatever, right? Everybody can disobey the rules and pervert something and kill something and make something die, but the life originated and it started from God. You get what I'm saying? So yes, there's good and evil because of free will. Because God is so good and he didn't want to enslave you and he didn't want to make you a slave. Like, a lot of people like to justify the fact that in the Old Testament, you know, and some parts of the New Testament, that God tells us to love our master, right? He tells us to obey our masters. And a lot of people think that that's wrong, like it's just slavery, but you have masters in life. My father, my earthly father, is my master. I have to obey him. Why? Because he's ahead of me. It's an elder. You get what I'm saying? So taking things and twisting it and perverting it for your own liking and leaning on your own understanding just to try to justify that the truth isn't the truth, and that could be dangerous, bro. Yes, slaves and all, like, slavery is going on today. If you truly believe that God is telling you to serve a slave, right? In the old days and slavery with black people and all that stuff, if you truly believe that it's a white man's book and it's made to keep black people in slavery, if you truly believe that, and you don't believe that you're a slave today and you think that you're a free man today, then you are deceived in a whole bunch of ways. There's a lot of ways that you are a slave today with the modern day workforce slavery, you know, with sin, you know, slavery to the opinions of other people. Slavery still exists in a lot of different ways. So to say that God is wrong for telling you to obey your slave masters is ultimately like saying that you're a free man today. And a lot of people think that they're free. Before we even continue the video, before I even continue to rant and ramble, I want you to understand that the reason that God is telling us to obey our slave masters is so that people can be blameless. You get what I'm saying? If you rebel against your slave master and get thrown into jail and lose your liberty in society, there's some blame on you, right? But if you obey your slave master, if you obey the person who, or your oppressor, like the government or Uncle Sam, or, you know, modern slavery, like your job, and if you obey these rules, then you can be blameless in the kingdom of heaven. But how can you be blameless and you're not even obeying and following the rules that's set into place? Now, that is why the Lord is telling us to obey our slave masters. Like, we have masters, bro, and people are still slaves to this day. You know, nobody is truly free unless you are a part of their allegiance, and you are a part of the secret occults and the Illuminati and the government, and, you know, all these. Unless you get under that new world order and you intentionally know Satan is your master and you choose to follow Satan, you're a slave. And even if you choose to follow Satan and you're still like, we're all slaves to some. We all have masters to somebody. We all have to obey somebody. A rebellious person is a Satan. That's just is what it is. It's ignorance. A lot of ignorance going on. It's about waking up and seeing the world for what it is. And once you do that, you could truly understand the greatness and the goodness and the grace of God and that he has over your life. Genuinely. But this is the video for today. I just wanted to come to you with a video, you know, explaining the workforce mentality, the mentality you must have while working, because working is serving. You get what I'm saying? I'm literally working to please another individual. These videos that I make, it's working for the viewer. You know, I'm literally working for you to change your mindset or your outlook or your perspective on life because of, you know, the bullshit that's going on in life. You know, I'm working for you. You get what I'm saying? Like the truth, these rules, the rules that God set in place. A lot of things are working for your good, even according to the scriptures in Roman, whatever, right? Look it up. All things work out for the good of those who love God. So everything is working for you. You get what I'm saying? Everything is working for you. Everything is serving you. And that's what work is. It's a servant's mentality. It's to serve another individual. It's to serve a thing. It's to make it. You got to do it with love and passion, you know? And if we implement that into the working force, you know, the world will become a better place. It wouldn't be too many grimy muff out here, you know, people out here, you know, just taking advantage of other people, you know, in certain situations and turning the good ones cold, you know. Hurt people, and that's a genuine, true statement, because literally I could be mad or hurt at the situation that I'm in, and the way that I treat you can ultimately turn you just like me. It's like a zombie apocalypse. It's like a virus, you know, and it's airborne. You know, it's not even airborne. It's literally like morality born. Like it's like non-sin. It's like non-existent. You know, it's just turning the world to a darker place, all through one touch of the enemy. You know, but the chosen will prevail. The righteous will prevail. And the only way to become a righteous individual is changing the heart. You know, yes, I can follow certain scriptures, and yes, I cuss to this day, and I do certain things to this day, but it's the heart. I'm not justifying sin, because like I said in the beginning of the video, wrong is wrong and right is right. But it's the heart. It's the heart. It's the emotion. It's the spirit. It's the feelings. Because how else can you even talk to God? How else can you even know God if he's not physically here with you? He has to be spiritually, emotionally here with you. You get what I'm saying? And another thing I want to say before I even end this video, one thing I want to leave off on is to know a person physically isn't everything, right? I can know a female physically, but yet be spiritually and emotionally disattached from her, and we go our separate ways. I knew her physically, spiritually, you know, sexually or whatever, and we separated, right? It means absolutely nothing to know a person physically, but it means everything in the world to know a person spiritually. You get what I'm saying? And that's how we know our Creator, through spiritual practices, praying and fasting, and just thinking of him in every situation. You get what I'm saying? That's how you know the Lord. The intentions of the heart, the mind, you know, and the soul. That's what the scriptures tell us. Love the Lord with all your heart, your mind, and your soul. That's the greatest commandment. You know, the second greatest commandment is love others like you love yourself, right? Love your neighbor. You know what I'm saying? Love people. And I was having a hard time with that at a point in time because of the touch of the enemy. You know, people coming in my life and hurting me and making me, you know, hurt other people. You know, but as I get older and as I forgive and forget, you know, I'm slowly reverting back to who I am, and it's beautiful. You know, like even now I'm getting a little bit emotional because of the beauty in it. You get what I'm saying? Like just loving and forgetting, and you know, I'm realizing the trap in the, you know, the things that's going on here that's causing us to turn against ourselves, causing us to turn against humanity, causing us to turn against the Lord and the very own thing that makes us us. So I'm realizing those things, man. Get what I'm saying? And another thing I wanted to say too, to touch bases back on that, you know, that emotional topic and on the person spiritually, is the world that we're living in, man, is going that other way. You know, it's going the wrong way. And even there's a lot of videos online surfacing about, you know, certain men talk about how they're not gay for dealing with other men and transsexuals and trannies and all that stuff, you know, just because they look like women, right? And that is truly a problem because, you know, that revolves back to my statement. A lot of people are justifying the fact that I can know you physically but not spiritually, you know, and it's ultimately sin, man. It is gay, you know. But that's just me, and it, you know, it better helps my claim on the things that I say, you know, just by pointing up modern events in society. Another thing I wanted to discuss before I even get off this video, and it's a lot of gems in this video, bro. It's so many gems. But one more thing I wanted to discuss in this video is never be afraid to show your intelligence, right? But you have to be smart in certain situations. If you know the situation that you're going into doesn't value intelligence, right? If you're going around a bunch of fools, you have to be smart in that situation and play like a dummy. You know? Sometimes being smart is playing dumb. That's just is what it is, man. You know, you have to be as wise as a serpent, but as harmless as a dove. So you got to know and outplay your enemy. It's like a chess game. I can't go over here and make enemies by just being me. I have to sometimes, and not even sometimes, but I have to make it home. That's how I think about life. I just have to make it home with least enemies as possible. Obviously, you're going to come in this world and you're going to shake a couple people, and that's what the scriptures tell us. Like, the Lord has come to divide houses and family members, and he's come to make it like a straight separate divide, you know, just for what you believe in and your morality and what you stand up on. Like me, I'm not celebrating certain holidays, and there's a divide there with me and my family because of the things that I believe in and the obedience that I have with the Lord. You get what I'm saying? So there's going to be a divide, and you're going to create enemies just because of who you are. But in certain situations, you have to outsmart your enemy and use your mind. It's a mind game, and the mind is the strongest muscle that you have on your body. So the name of the channel is Spirit, Mind, and Body Fitness, because not only do I exercise a lot, but I have to think constantly. I have to constantly be thinking about different topics and talking to myself about certain topics, and you know, just gaining knowledge and understanding and praying, and you know, for the wisdom and knowledge and understanding, so I can actually use my muscle. You know what I'm saying? You don't use your muscle, you go lose your muscle. So I most importantly have to use this mind and express myself in, you know, certain thoughts in order for the mind to be strong, in order for me to outsmart the enemy and make it home safely. You get what I'm saying? I'm equipped physically, you know, for a tussle, a fight, a arm wrestle, or whatever. You could tell by my page, you could tell by the amount of effort that I put into fitness, but are you equipped mentally? That's the question. And you got to do a lot of homework, and a lot of the things that you're doing as far as the fitness work, you know, you have to do that in the background, and, you know, also with your mind. I dropped out of school, but I'm nowhere near a dummy. I dropped out of school for, you know, not only clout reasons and wanting to be cool, but now that I'm thinking about it, now that I'm consciously aware, school goes against my beliefs in the Creator and everything else. You know, school is a bunch of lies, and I just don't believe in it personally. Now, that'll be a whole nother separate video exposing the school system. You know, I could do that, but not on this video because it'll be too long. You get what I'm saying? And that's an awakening that a lot of people just not ready for. You get what I'm saying? And that's just me personally. I understand that. I know that, you know, people want a part in the society. They want a part in this world, and taking school away from them is almost like taking their world away. You get what I'm saying? So that's later. You get what I'm saying? But, you know, not a dummy at all. Definitely dropped out of school, and I take pride in it, you know, because I'm still going to succeed in this life according to my standards and according to the Lord's standards. You get what I'm saying? Like, what success for me is not success for y'all, and I'm proud of my life. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't have to, you know, be anything in this life for anyone to think that I'm cool. Obviously, that's what the women like in this life, and I may be single for the rest of my life because of the mindset and certain things. Like, I'm understanding that the world likes a certain type of person, and I'm not willing to conform to the world and become a certain type of person, you know, just to try to fit in and be liked. That's never me. F the world, and F anybody who don't like me for being me and want to conform and want to change me into being like, you know, a whitewashed world that has no color in it, a black and white world. I'm full of color. I'm full of soul. And when I say I'm full of color, I'm not talking about that rainbow, new LGBTQ BS. They stole that rainbow stuff from the Lord. You get what I'm saying? So, hey, it is what it is. But that's just me, man. I'm out here getting some work in. Out here messing with these leaves and this backyard cleanup and stuff. Working, man. You know, and I just had to come on with that statement about the workforce mentality as I work and as I think about working, you know. That being said, man, I appreciate everybody out there for watching, supporting, you know, and all of the above. If you understood anything that I talked about in this video, you are truly wise. Just because I'm saying it don't make me wise. I'm just a voice, right? To truly be wise is to understand the topic and actually resonate with the topic. There's fools out there who don't even resonate with the way that I'm speaking right now, and Those people are idiots. They're fools according to the scriptures and according to the word of the Bible, right? Just because I'm saying it and just because you never thought of it or, expressed yourself in this type of way don't make you less than me or not smart as me. You understood the topic and not only understood it, but you resonated with the topic. So you got on the right side, which ultimately makes you smart. That being said, man, like, comment, subscribe, and all of the good stuff on this channel, man. We're going up. Summertime is coming. It's approaching us. And it's about to be a beautiful season. I got some great things coming in store, and I want everybody to stay tuned for that. You know what I'm saying? If you rock with me, you support me, hit the subscribe button and support now, because after this year, my life will never be the same. You hear me? And I'm just going to tell you that right now. After this year, it's going to be a lot of fake supporters and a lot of people who haven't been here in the beginning. But if you are here in the beginning, show that. You get what I'm saying? Show that. Because when the train come and now, the bandwagoners want to come, I'm not going to be able to decipher the difference. You get what I'm saying? Support a brother while he alive and not while he dead. You hear me? With that being said, man, I'm out. Peace.